I played hide and seek on the deep web. I'm not ashamed to admit that I loved browsing the deep web, and no, I don't get pleasure from the gruesome content like other sick bastards who use it. I used it to find new websites, deleted websites, and explore. Did you know that the deep web is actually 5 times larger than the internet? I'll explain a little bit about what the deep web is. It used to be a secret service for the military, known for shipping guns and weapons that regular citizens couldn't own. Somehow, over the years, it became a platform for anything illegal. They have black markets for selling illegal weapons, guns, drugs, hacking, humans dead or alive, and basically the worst things that you can think of. They abuse and murder for pleasure and upload it to the darkest corner of the disturbing platform known as the deep web, and sometimes referred to as the dark web. On most sites, it is owned by a dangerous creep. Said creep can hack your webcam on and watch your every move. Just one wrong click on the deep web can lead to all over your information being sent to thugs and felons. The worst part is that the deep web contains illegal human experiments. Seriously, don't try to find it. I only browse through it to find interesting sites like cult homepages and conspiracies. I know that you can die at every corner of the deep web, but that is if you don't know the correct way to use it. With the right softwares, you can do anything. Anyway, I was 13 when I started browsing it one day. That morning, I found a strange website called real.games with the disturbing banner of a wide grin that didn't show any other part of the face. I scrolled down to see what the website contained. I soon learned that it was a site dedicated to games. One of them was called Run and Hide, and it was about having a stalker attempting to track one on social media, and they have to get the stalker arrested without contacting the police. Another one was titled Capture the Flag, which was about playing the traditional capture the flag game in a forest, but you have to get your hostage from a worn down shed instead of finding a flag. I figured that they were all just gruesome computer games that were just too violent to remain on the surface web. I thought it would be something like Online Tag but with gore or something like that, so I considered clicking one of these. I also wanted to see why these games couldn't remain on the surface web. I soon came across one called Hide and Seek, a game of hide and seek that takes place in a giant abandoned hotel. I clicked the big green play button and waited. It then asked me which out of the listed servers that I would be choosing. It proceeded to list Server A, Server B, and Server C. I chose Server A. When my mouse hovered over it, the letters changed to spell tomorrow. I clicked it. A green checkmark flashed across the screen before it redirected me to the home page. I then closed my computer, feeling bored. The site hadn't accomplished anything right then and there. I stood up and walked to the kitchen to get a glass of water. I didn't understand the website's purpose at the time. I thought that I could play what I thought was a video game of hide and seek the next day, so I made plans to revisit the homepage. I went to bed and soon woke up the next day. My parents worked all day during the week, meaning that I was also home alone that day. I revisited the homepage that morning. The sky was at its finest shade of blue today. However, I didn't intend on going outside that day. On the corner of the screen, there was some kind of timer counting from 30 seconds. Above the timer, it read, "Hide and seek begins in." I decided to wait out the 30 seconds by staring at the screen. When the timer ran out, nothing happened. I clicked play again, and it notified me that I was already scheduled to play that day. A sudden sound startled me. It was as if somebody had smashed a log through the door. I have a gun under my bed because if you are an active deep web searcher, you still need to possess the bare essentials. What really scared me was rapid stepping coming up the stairs. Somebody had broken into my house. I hid in the closet with the gun aimed toward the only opening. I watched as somebody opened the door and slowly walked through it. They had a latex human mask on and black cloak. I was shaking. My heavy breathing gave away my hiding spot. He opened the closet even wider than it was. I shot him in the chest. It didn't do anything. He must have had bulletproof armor. That's the last thing that I can remember. Before waking up in a room, it was a very dark room with a small crack of light beaming from the top of the wall in front of me. I thought that my life was over. My mind resorted to rape, trafficking, torture, death, and everything that people did on the deep web. I had been kidnapped. In silent and shameful tears, I stared downward at the ground, regretting my decision to ever use this internet platform, until an alarm sound emitted from the side of the building. It was like a school bell sound. I heard screams and gasps come from this room. I jumped onto my feet and backed toward the wall. There were other people in this room. I suddenly assumed that they were the kidnappers until one of them said, "Who's there?" Everybody started whispering, "Who are you?" We all deduced the fact that they were victims. "Everybody," I whispered loudly. Everyone in the room fell silent. "What was the last website that you visited?" They all responded with real.games. We all had clicked hide and seek. Suddenly, light flooded the room. I could now see the innocent men, women, and children before me who had also been tricked into this. They were all lying down in this dark room. The wall, which was actually a giant door, opened like those automatic doors that you'd commonly see at a supermarket. The opening revealed that we were trapped in some kind of room at the end of a hotel lobby. We all tried walking out of the door before gunmen in all kinds of masks walked in front of us and started shooting in the air. Everyone in the room gasped or screamed, except for me. I backed into the wall that I was previously leaning on. Some of them fell to the floor, but we knew to back the hell up.
"Welcome to hide and seek,"
said one of the masked men in a deep voice.
"As soon as this bullet hits the ceiling, you will have 30 seconds to hide anywhere in the building. Cameras are watching, so don't even think about trying to escape. We know where all of you live, and we are not afraid to harm your families. If you were found, we kill you. I will start as the seeker."
A timer similar to the one on the computer that morning started. I couldn't believe that this was actually happening. I could barely process what he had just said from the shock of the situation. Everybody started running everywhere. I bolted out of that dark room. I looked around. I was in a hotel, the plant in a giant porcelain pot, a fountain, a check-in counter, and an elevator made it obvious. This was hide and seek in an abandoned hotel. This website actually emulated hide and seek into a real game. The timer hit 20 seconds when I realized that I had to hide somewhere fast. I ran to the stairway since the elevator was jammed with people and had no room. I started to make my way to the top floor when I thought, I need to be smart about this. The top floor would be the most obvious place to check. There were 7 floors, so I decided to hide in the 4th one. I tried the handle to a random room, but it was locked. The timer went off. I needed a plan. Luckily, there was a janitorial closet beside the vending machine where I was hiding behind. I assumed that the seeker was checking the bottom floors first. I then grabbed a plant in a huge porcelain pot and slammed it into the janitorial closet. The frail old door shattered. I hopped into the room and found a master key that unlocks all doors. I hopped out of the room and quickly unlocked a random room I knew to close, lock, and barricade the door. I hid in there, hearing many screams come from every direction. The deep web had brought me to this game. From that moment, in the closet of that room, I vowed to never use the deep web. I kept the lights off in that room for some reason. I was too scared to cry. I felt like life drained out of me as I heard footsteps on this floor. I could hear someone in the hallway outside the door. They were talking to another person about how someone had found the master key. Innocent people were dying here. Death surrounded me. I heard all kinds of noises echo in pure sadness. After 2 minutes of waiting in that room, head in my hand, an alarm suddenly burst from the hallway.
Time is up. Everyone report downstairs.
I hopped up and removed the barricades. I kept the master key in my pocket as I ran down the stairs, hoping for a chance to leave this place. Maybe the sick fucks would let me go. I jumped down the stairwell and ran into the lobby where the game had started. I was the only one down there. A chill ran down my spine when I saw the masked man approach me.
You're the seeker now,
he said, handing me a gun. I stared at it blankly. I wasn't going to kill a bunch of people. I just wanted to get out of there. I sat there. The only sound in the lobby was the group of new kidnapped people in the starting room waking up and whispering. I just wanted to find a way to end this sick game. I was the only living player from the first game. Something just burst inside of me, the feeling of hope. I had entered this game, survived, and wanted to quit. All that was left for me to do was to escape. My mind was focused on ways to escape to a point where I wasn't even paying attention to my surroundings. After a minute of pondering, I looked up. The masked man sat on a nearby couch, staring at the door to the starting room. With a boost of courage, I kicked a vending machine into the wall. I knew that this building was unlike any others. It was like one of those disgusting motels. It left a big square-shaped hole in the wall. I rushed at the hole. I heard the masked man yell,
"Hey!"
and chase me down. I turned around before jumping out of the hole. The masked kidnapper had his gun aimed at me. I aimed mine back and fired as I fell onto the bush beneath. I dropped the gun in that bush and ran for my life. My deep web days are officially over. I couldn't contact the police because the deep web is believed to be illegal. I have since been skeptical to the true meaning of hide and seek. Real.games is something that I never want to talk about again. I'm not sure if I should say this. Call me crazy if you want, but that was an interesting, thrilling experience that I'll hopefully never forget.